Fourth grade into math lesson 5.2. Use area models and distributed property to multiply. I can break apart a 2-digit factor to multiply a 2-digit factor by a 1-digit factor. Spark career learning. A school scramble band gets into formation for a parade. There are 9 rows of 18 band members. How can you make a visual model to show the number of band members that are in the scramble band? Okay. So we did these pictures the other day, right? Okay, we're gonna need how many? So we need a long and how many small cubes? 9. Well, what's in our 10 spot? 1. So we have 1 long, right? And how many small cubes? 8. And we're gonna have to make how many groups of those? 9, right? Okay, so we have our picture drawn with our 9 groups of 18. So then we would have to regroup some of our stuff. So we would come over here and circle 8 of those plus 2 more, which is 10. Cross it off, draw another long. We have 6 here. So we're going to put 4 more in there, cross it off, and draw another long. We have 4 here, and we need 6 from the next one. Cross it off and draw another long. We have 2, and then our 8 from the next group. Cross it off and draw another long. We have 8 here, and then I need 2 more from my next group. Cross that off, and I get another long. I have 6 here, get 4 more. Cross that off and get another long. Then I should have 2 left and use these. Then mark it off and draw another long. Okay, so we did our 10 little cubes and regrouped them into longs for our 10s spot. So we regrouped our 1s to our 10 spot. Now we need to take our longs and regroup them into hundreds or flats. So I have 9 here, and then I'm going to take 1 more from here to make 10, so that I can cross those off, and I have a flat now for hundreds. So how many hundreds do I have? How many flats do I have? 1. How many longs do I have? How many 10s do I have? Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And how many small cubes do I have, or ones? I had 2 left over. So there are 162 band members in the scramble band. So remember, you have to regroup, and when you regroup, you have to keep track of what you all have in there, okay, in order to cross off and then go to the next place value. Build understanding. Willow is working through some math homework. She comes to 7 times 13. How can she use an area model to find her product, or find the product? How can you draw a rectangle on the grid to show 7 times 13? So what are we going to do? We need to go down 7, right? And then what can we break 13 into? Do we know what like 7 times 7 is and 7 times 6 is? Yep. Okay. So down 7 over 6 and over 7. So if I did that, I said I'm going to go down 7. So 1, 2, 3, 7. Okay. And then I said over 6. So this is 7 and this is 6, right? And then how many more over did I say I was going to go? 7 more, right? And then this is 7, okay? So what is 6 times 7? Wait, put your labels on there, guys. Don't just draw it, put your labels on there too. 42. So I'm going to put 42 here. So we said 6 times 7 was 42. And now what is 7 times 7?
49.
49. So this has 49 squares in it. So now I'm going to take 42 plus 49, and what am I going to get? If you don't know how to do it this way, I can write it this way, right? If you don't know how to work it horizontally, you can work it vertically. So I'm going to put a 1 here, carry the 1. 4 plus 4 plus 1 is 9, so 91. So 7 times 13 is 91. Letter B, how can you use the distributed property in an area model to make multiplying easier? So basically, if we wanted it to look like distributive, what we did was we took 7 times parentheses 6 plus 7, right? Equals our answer, equals A, right? So basically what we did was then we took the 6 times 7 and the 7 times 7 and then added them together, right? Okay. How can you find the product? So what did we do? We broke it apart and then we put it back together by adding it, right? Okay, we broke it into smaller numbers and then added them together. Number 2, the next problem on Lowe's homework sheet is 3 times 19. How can I use base and box to show 3 times 19? So we're going to have 3 groups of what? 3 groups of what? 19, right? So how many 10s do I have? I have 1. And then how many small cubes? How many ones? 9, right? Okay, so I need 3 groups of those. Okay, so we need to show regrouping. So in order for us to regroup into another place value, we have to have what? 10, right? Okay, so I have 9 here, and I'm going to take 1 more from over here, mark that off, and I can make another 10. Okay, how many do I have to have again? 10. So there's 8 left here, so I'm going to take 8 and take 2 more from this group, and then mark them off, and I can make another 10. Okay, do I have enough to now circle and regroup? No, I do not. So I'm done and I'm stopping there. So how do I have any hundreds? No, because I don't have any flats. How many 10s do I have? I have 3 here and 2 here, so I have 5. And then how many small cubes or 1s do I have left? I have 4 here and 3 here, so that's 7. So how can you use the distributive property to break apart the base 10 blocks and find the product? So I could use 3 times, how many 10s did I start with? 1. And then so I would have 10, right? Okay. And then how many cubes or small cubes or 1s did I have? 9, right? Okay, so if I did that, I would take what? Well, they say 3 times 1, 10, which would be 3 times 10 is 30, times 9 1s. Or not, oh, sorry, guys. Not 33, sorry. Okay, because we plug it through like this, right? Okay, so then that would be 3 times 10. I was kind of jumping ahead there. And then 3 times 9, which equals 30 plus, what's 3 times 9?
27.
27. And then 30 plus 27 is? So did we get the same answers? Yes. Okay, check understanding. Number 1, find the product. So they were nice enough and they already drew the picture for us. So in order for us to do this, how many do I have to have in a 10? Or how many do I have to have in a group? 10. Okay, so here's 4, 8, and then I need to take 2 more from the next group. And I can mark it off and draw another 10. We'll draw ours this way since that's how they have it drawn. Do I have enough to make another group? No. Okay, I only have 6 and I have to have 10. So do I have enough? No. So how many 10s do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how many small cubes or ones do I have? 6. So my answer would be 56. Okay, on the next one, they want us to draw an area model to represent the product. So am I going to break this into the number cubes or just a square? Just the squares like we drew before. So what can I break this 11 into? Could that be 10 plus 1? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to break that into a 10 plus 1. So I'm going to draw my box. And I need to break it into 2 pieces. Oops, hold on. I need to break it into 2 pieces. And we said this one was going to be 10 and this one was going to be 1. And then we're multiplying both of those times 3. Okay, so 3 times 10 is what? 30. 3 times 1 is 3. So my answer is 33. All right, on your own, number 3, how can you use an area model to show the product? So we're going to have to break 18 into what? What can I break 18 into? 6. What about just 10 and 8? Let's do 10 and 8. 10 plus 8. Okay, so I'm going to have to go down 8 spots. Okay, and then over 10. And then make a box there. So we said this was 8 and this was 10. And then on the next box, how many do I have to go over? I went over 10 for one. I have to go over how much for the next one? 8. And then put an 8 up here. So we went ahead and wrote down our equation and we did the distributive property of 8 times parentheses 10 plus 8. We said if you took 8 times 10 would be our first box, and then 8 times 8 would be our second box, and 8 times 10 was 80, and then 8 times 8 was 64, and 80 plus 64 equals 144. Number 4, it said to draw an area model to represent the product. And we had 5 times 14. So we decided to break 14 into 10 plus 4. So we drew our boxes and we went down 5 and over 10 for the first one. We went down 5 and over 4 for the next one. So then we took 5 times 10 and got 50. And we took 5 times 4 and got 20. So we did 5 plus 20 equals 70. Number 5, find the product. They have 7 times 16 and they were nice enough to draw our picture for us. We know we have to have 10 in a group in order to regroup. So we went ahead and put those in groups of 10 and then regrouped with our longs. Now we've decided that we have 11 longs. So we need to take a group of those longs and make 10, mark them off, and replace it with a flat for 100. So how many flats do we have? 1. How many longs do we have? 1. And then how many small cubes do we have? 2. Okay, so we're just going to discuss number 6. So reason, why does the distributive property make it easier to multiply a 2-digit number by a 1-digit number? So it's like this on number 3, it pulls it apart. And what does it do? It breaks it into what? Smaller numbers that you guys are used to working with, right? Okay, and then it's easier to do little steps and then